And I believe we have Brother Leader Mbandaka, who is one of the organizers of the march, on the phone. Greetings, Young Galaxy Radio.
Tendai Mwari, greetings.
Yeah, greetings.
Les. Greetings to Professor Gus John.
Greetings.
Baba Reverend Larry.
Greetings, my brother.
Greetings. How are you, my beloved elder?
I'm pretty good. I spoke to Kanaya, so I'll be meeting with you all during the week.
I look forward to that.
Okay.
Yeah, Tendai Mwari. Let me thank you, Dr. Les, for raising up this discussion and this focus, which I think is most timely and appropriate this afternoon. As you said, I am one of the organizers of this event, and in fact one of the initiators of this event. And I am happy to answer any questions or queries regarding the itinerary and the program for the day. I think it's very, very important that as a family, as a community, that we listen to each other carefully so that we do not misrepresent. Now, I think maybe a good starting point. I've got an echo here. I don't know whether it's my phone or yours or what.
Have you got your radio on?
No, I haven't.
Okay. We'll just try and work with it.
Yeah. Can you hear the echo yourself?
Yeah, we can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right. The question of the march and why we are marching on that day. First and foremost, I want to emphasize that this was a decision that was made by the African community who were present at the first planning meeting that we called on the 3rd of February for the entire community to come out and to participate in the process of planning and consulting and deciding on the itinerary and the program of the day. A number of over 120 leading organizers and activists in our community, leading professionals, African-centered professionals, were contacted and invited to attend this meeting in the hope that they would bring along and certainly represent their respective constituencies. What we wanted was a broad base of representation from the African community so that the entire African community would own what we intended to be a national event. So we wanted it to be a national event in the true sense of the term, and that the people could be a part of the whole organizing and planning process. So that meeting happened on the 3rd of February, Thursday the 3rd of February. And at that meeting, we decided that we wanted to reenact the march of 30 years ago, and I want to just emphasize that was not intended in the quantitative sense, but in the qualitative sense. In other words, the emphasis was not on mobilizing 25,000 African people or otherwise, may I say, to come out to this march, but to mobilize as many African people as possible to have a symbolic reenactment of the march that took place 30 years ago. The significance of which has been well explained by your distinguished guests, including Brother Linton Kwesi Johnson. So I won't go over that. But I want to emphasize that the landmarks that were decided, the Moonshot Club, Cardinal Street Community Center, was where the march started 30 years ago, and where many of the meetings of the New Cross Massacre Action Committee took place. We intend to move from there to the site in Fordham Park, where one of the parents had planted 13 trees in remembrance of the fatal victims. And those trees were cut down and removed by the Lewisham Council without notice. And we are intending to go there to acknowledge that memorial that was erected on that site, and to give respect to that enactment by the father of the person, man, who also died in the tragedy. We intend to move from there to 439 New Cross Road, where we all know the incident took place. It appears to be a contentious issue that we are also moving to the police station at its present location. That was thoroughly discussed and debated. We have had 4 community meetings since, and the people decided, the people, not anyone in leadership, but the people decided that we should conclude the march at the present site of the Lewisham police station. Even though the site has been removed, the geographical relocation makes no difference. The argument is that it was not the building that abused our young people, it was the police.
Yeah, but Brother Leader, one second.
Yes.
From what I understand, it was Deptford Police who were investigating it, supported by Lewisham Police. And Deptford Police Station is about a stone's throw away from 439 New Cross Road.
Well, I'm sharing with you, my brother, the discussion that we had in these meetings and the decision that the people came to. Lewisham Police Station certainly played a fundamental role. And the people decided that they wanted to march to Lewisham Police Station. I'm just telling you what the people decided. Yes? Professor Gus John is in a position to confirm much of what I'm saying because he was certainly at the first meeting and he chaired the first meeting. So, and all of this is on record. We've taken minutes of all the meetings, etc. So that is the reason why the people decided that we should conclude the march at the Lewisham Police Station. And the march will also serve as something of a tour guide so that brothers and sisters will be explained, especially to our young people, the significance of these sites. Let me just quickly add that I remember at the Albion Theatre, the commemorative event that was held there and the panel discussion that took place, one of the concerns that was raised is why so many of our people have forgotten New Cross and so many of our young people know nothing at all about New Cross. This day will provide an opportunity for our young people to be present and to go through the process of acknowledging these sites and to hear the historical significance of these sites and institutions to the New Cross Massacre and the Black People's Day of Action.
Well,
now,
Brother Leader, 1 second. You see, this for me is what my confusion is, okay? I can overstand Moonshot and Fordham Park because we gathered there and then we actually moved because a lot of people were already waiting at 439 New Cross. And then we started the actual march from 439 New Cross Road. I can understand that, and I was there. What I don't understand is the significance of where Lewisham Police Station is now. Because if you're saying you're having a march to go across a route to point out certain significant aspects, those significant points to me would be going from New Cross to where we ended up at West End. So it could be where the police tried to block us off on the Old Kent Road, where they tried to block us off on, I believe it was Blackfriars Bridge. Those for me would be the significant points. As I said, for me, I don't see the significance of marching from New Cross to Lewisham Police Station. I understand and appreciate what you're saying about it was a community decision, but for me, it just seems a bit wrong-headed. Especially if we're saying that we want to commemorate and put these things in the consciousness of our young people. Deptford Police Station, the Old Ladywell Police Station, perhaps. Fordham Park, maybe, because of the trees. Pagnell Street Centre, absolutely, because of the history. But the rest of it confounds me.
Tenai Mari, well, my brother, I appreciate you expressing your opinion, your view. Unfortunately, you were not able to attend the meeting to put your...
No, it wasn't that I wasn't able to attend the meeting. I was not invited to the meeting. I know that I've heard I was invited.
Professor Gus John was going to invite you as one of the people on the list that he had volunteered to make contact with. So I am surprised to hear that you were not...
Well, I was not formally invited to that meeting.
Well, I can only say that I'm surprised to hear that. But I don't want to get bogged down on this one point about Lewisham Police Station. Lewisham Police Station is a representative body of the Metropolitan Police. And I've said already that this is a symbolic march. The Lewisham Police Station exists as an institution, as one of the arms of the state. And the symbolism, I've already explained, the significance and the symbolism as was determined by the people, not Brother Leader Mbandaka or the Al-Qaeda and Revivalist movement, but the people. Yes? I want to also make it absolutely clear that the march is just one aspect of the day. That the intention is not to just concentrate on remembrance. In fact, we have a motto for the day, which is commemorate, evaluate, organize, liberate. So certainly, we will be remembering what happened 30 years ago and the significance of that. But we will also be evaluating what has happened to African people in the last 30 years in the country. Why are we where we are today, facing the same injustices and social maladies, and even worse in many cases? But more importantly, having evaluated that, what are we going to do in the present to empower ourselves as a people, as a community, to establish a national agenda and a national institution that will address the needs of African people, will be a representative voice of African people as other communities have, and will be a lobby group for African people in this country. That is the thrust.
So, Brother Leader, because... Yeah, with respect, I'm going to have to line you in a minute, but so this is going to be the secondary event that you're going to have. So this is going to be around organizing an institution that is going to be a representative voice for the African communities, plural, of various ideological, religious, spiritual, cultural differences. Is this what you're saying?
Yes, but we have not spoken in terms of plurality. We have spoken in terms of unity. And let me stress that unity here does not mean unanimity. When Professor Gus John and I got our heads together in the first instance, we recognized that we had a range of political orientations, ideological orientations, religious orientations, but if we couldn't see beyond that and work with each other beyond our differences, then we would have a woeful future ahead of us. So we understand, we want to make it clear that when we talk about unity, we do not mean unanimity. I think it's also important, my brother, to stress that there has never been a debate about whether white people, Asian people were on the march 30 years ago. There was never any debate about whether white people or Asian people should be allowed to come to this march on the 2nd of March 2011. That if that is being advanced as a present situation, that is a misrepresentation. I want to stress that.
Well, I'm not sure where that misrepresentation comes from, but I'm going to have to line you on that with respect, brother, because we've got people lining up.
Can I just quickly explain something, my brother, which I think is important for you and the listeners to understand?
Okay.
Yeah? There was a discussion and some differences around emphasis. It was universally agreed that we're seeking to mobilize the African community and to establish some kind of an African representative body and an African national agenda.
Okay.
The discussion came, or the disagreement came around whether it is incorrect to say 25,000 or 20,000 for that matter, African people marched on that day, and whether it was necessary to emphasize that non-Africans were on the march. That was the debate. There's no debate about whether Europeans and Asians were on the march and whether they should be on the march on the 2nd of March. That has not been a debate that has been held in the community. For further information, brothers and sisters can just tune in, log in to www.blackpeoplesdayofaction.org or call 07-908-814-152. Or they might want to tune in to channel 218 this evening at 7 o'clock and again at 1 o'clock in the morning to Vox Africa TV.
Okay.
Shoot the messenger hosted by Brother Henry Bonsu, where I will be featured in an interview with Brother Henry Bonsu. And please, in closing, my brother, please realize that this event has captured the imagination of tens of thousands of African people now, over the tens of
my brother, I'm gonna have to land you there because I've had someone waiting on the phone for about 10 minutes.
Thank you very much for your time.
Well, with respect, and I'm glad it's caught people's consciousness. I just hope that something productive comes out of it, because we've got to recognise that there is a plurality of what it means to be African in this country. So with respect, give thanks for your contribution.
My brother.
Have a blessed afternoon.
For sure.